Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to the Flying Fluffy Hockey Live review of the absolute blowout victory for the Oilers 8-1 in Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Finals. So, Praga says it was a matter of time before some team figured out how to counter the aggressive forecheck and pinching fast passes to the weak side and get on the puck first. That is what the Oilers did. Florida has to be first on the puck, but someone has to be back. Mike says we can analyze the game all we want, but I think 4 in a row was not happening. I see I hate to bring it to you, but game 4 already happened. Yeah, that was a pretty awful game. I mean, I guess the positive news is that all of the fans who were desperate for the Panthers to win the series at home, you are probably getting your wish. You should be getting your wish because Panthers better win this in 5. So, besides the events of last night, how is everybody doing?
Everybody else, get you some food. Okay? I get you your food, all right?
I mean, it's pretty telling that,
Right back, buddy.
the game was basically over by the end of the second period, but the Oilers continued to run up the score.
I mean, we just know shit. We came out, we gave a little bit of effort, and I mean, I know I'm not sitting here saying they planned on just saying screw it, winning it at home, but that happens a lot in 3-0 series. You see with the basketball, just can't be all that surprised. I'm coming from good ball.
So, Progress says, Happy Father's Day to Jaws. Yeah. Today is the day where I basically, my Father's Day gift for the past several years has been renewing my dad's fishing license. Mike says Oilers played the same way every game so far. The difference in 1-3 versus last night was goaltending and defensive mistakes. Well, I believe Kachuk might have been quoted as saying we gave up 8 goals tonight, and none of them were the goalie's fault. McDavid broke Gretzky's record for most assists in a single playoff run. Mike Praga says, Mike, I saw a very different strategy from the Oilers. Yes, they tried stretch passes before, but this time they had worked on the fast passes. Get to a weak side, go back and watch the replays. Tiffany says no team defense and a lot of mistakes that the Oilers took advantage of. Oilers showed up to an elimination game. We showed up to a preseason game. Copernicus says, I don't know if the 8 goals will worry us more or motivate us. I'm sure the Panthers are ready to head back home and utterly destroy the Oilers in every conceivable fashion in Game 5. Like, the Oilers want to run up the score in the third period in a blowout game. Well, the Panthers can just take the wood chipper against them in Game 5 in the figurative sense. Yeah, our fans won't allow the Panthers to quit like they did last night. Let's see. Yeah, I said it last night. The Lightning scored 6 on us in Game 4 and didn't win a single other game. We scored 6 on them the next game. Hello, Dana. You're on the plane with free Wi-Fi and double snacks with free wine and beer, even, but that's the only good thing because that game last night really sucked. Yeah, I'm sorry that you spent all that money, Dana. That must have sucked to see in person as a Panthers fan. Mike says, were the Oilers really going to go down in front of their home fans 0-4 and face the crowd, the critics, the media? They rode the crowd noise and kept coming the whole time. Seems unsustainable. So yeah, let's just shake this off. Move on to Game 5, where the Panthers, I believe, still have all the momentum in the world. Owl says, I think the Oilers knew we were going to take our foot off the gas a bit last night, and they used it to take out all their frustration. No, Dana, I do not believe the Oilers have figured out how to play us. I think last night is probably the same kind of aberration that Game 4 against the Lightning was. It doesn't matter how high the margin of victory was. It was one single game. Yeah, Maurice was talking about it being a new experience for not only him and the guys, but the whole organization. Deserved to win O-meter had the Panthers Oilers nearly 50-50. Yeah, I'm sure last night was an anomaly.
All right, I'm coming. I'll be right there. Go eat your chicken, okay? Good boy, eat your chicken. I'll come give you some more mushroom before I sit with Kyle. Eat your food. I'm right here. Not going anywhere. I'll never leave the house.
So, yeah, last night was a pretty terrible, but I expect the Panthers to come out and absolutely destroy the Oilers in Game 5. Or at the very least get the win and get the Stanley Cup. Like, notice that the Oilers only scored after being gifted. The Oilers only scored on the power play after being gifted 2 minutes of 5-on-3.
Maurice said, I'm not even counting the 5-on-3.
Yeah. Anthony says, do you think the change from 5-minute major to 2-minute minor impacted the mentality of the boys last night?
I'll be there in 2 minutes. Just take care of one thing here. No, they just didn't. They didn't have it from the beginning. We never had our forecheck. They looked lethargic, disinterested, and I think the way I see it is that if Edmonton would have come in and been choking and crackling under the pressure, maybe we win. But we did not bring the right attitude to beat them at their best. We just folded up and said, screw it, we'll win at home Tuesday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, we just did not. And look, I think this was during the season. I said this a couple of times, and now it's happened in the playoffs at least once. We would have this terrible, terrible game. And then what you looked at is like, well, yeah, we won 6 in a row. And then we had this horrible game. And so, yeah, I think if we keep winning 6 in a row and then having one horrible game, I'm pretty sure that wins you the cup.
Yeah, if the Panthers win on Tuesday, no one will remember Game 4.
Yeah, I'm not. If you don't win on Tuesday, then we could talk about concern and worry and all of that.
Yeah.
But I expect us to be at our absolute defensive best on Tuesday. You're going to see 2 defenders back the entire game. We're not going to be pinching. And Maurice is going to tell them to just play that, all those games we won during the season 2-1.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to see Tuesday.
Brandon says if we didn't hit the post and Swaggy didn't miss that open net, it could have been 3-3 after.
It was. He didn't miss the open net. It was a bad pass. The puck was bouncing. But we just didn't have it. All right, let me finish this one thing here I'm doing.
RC says, are we going to start having a conversation about why Tkachuk hasn't scored since Game 1 versus the Rangers?
I'll be right back. I gotta finish this.
I mean, Tkachuk has become the new assist king. Mike says, I expect Tkachuk to be better. This has been a tough series for him, and even versus the Rags, he was subpar for his standards. So, yeah, assists are king this year. I mean, McDavid apparently broke the record for assists in a playoff run that was set by Gretzky. So, maybe Tkachuk will score for us in Game 5. RC says, other than the assist to Benny, I can't really remember Chucky contributing much. It's like he's injured and holding back. Copernicus says, I wonder if Tkachuk really can't play at a high speed. Rangers and Oilers are probably the 2 fastest teams in the league. If that's the case at all, he better start working on his strides. Mike says, one thing about the series is this. The first 10 minutes are so important. Yeah. Brandon says, I think that's one of the main differences from last year. We used to have to rely on Chucky so much to be clutch. Now the entire roster can make plays and get big goals. Yeah, the only player who's physically incapable of scoring is Okposo.
Oh, Matthias had called, so I was answering him. He's trying to call me for Happy Father's Day. All right, I'm going to sit over here with the dog, but I'll answer questions.
So Cullen was asking, where's Joe's?
All right, here. Oh, puppy, you left this piece of chicken here. Come on, eat that. There you go, buddy. Eat that last piece.
Let's see. Anything goes game 5. Tickets are close to 1,000 at the cheapest.
I believe it.
58 says Men in Black Neuralizer. What hockey game?
Yeah, right?
Ricky says, let's go Panthers. We'll wrap this one up on Tuesday in Florida. Let's go Panthers. The score is going to be Florida 6-2. Panthers are going to win so they don't have to make the travel back to Edmonton.
Yeah.
Mike says, I think Montour needs to step it up too. He's a fast skater and in theory should be thriving in a series like this. He has been subpar.
Yeah, he just hasn't been hitting the net. Him and Ekblad haven't been hitting the net. Well, we need to just get out there on Tuesday, grind one out, and finish this.
Yeah.
You know? Oh.
Brennan says Okposo overtime game winner, calling it now.
Well, I have a feeling you might. I hope Maurice uses this as an excuse to take Lorentz and Okposo off and put Longworth and Cousins on.
Well, yeah.
So a little bit of extra juice might come in handy.
Plus, if Lomberg and Cousins don't play in any game, they won't get their names on the cup.
I don't know if that's how it works.
Pretty sure you have to play at least a game in the finals.
I've heard a lot of different contradictory opinions on that. I thought it was just you had to play in the playoffs.
Yeah, what are the rules?
I don't know. Every time we have this conversation, we get different answers in the chat, and I've never looked it up. So I don't know 100%.
Joseph says, I'm still in shock from last night. I can't believe they gave the Oilers hope. Bad news for sure. Panthers deserve the cup for sure, but this will be a true test. This series may be far from over.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way these series go, right? I mean, yeah, it was 3-0, but both teams have had good moments. But I have confidence in them to come back. I'm not going to worry about it.
And Jay says no. Cousins and Lomberg will have their name on the cup regardless.
Yeah, I believe that's accurate.
RC says don't think Okposo hasn't done. Don't think Okposo hasn't done anything wrong to lose his spot. Everyone sucked last night.
Oh, yeah, I understand that. It's just we were keeping them on the ice because we were winning. And, when you get blown out like that, you can certainly use to make some kind of change. I would be shocked if one of them doesn't get in. The fourth line did not have a good night last night at all. Not that anybody did.
Figure Report asks, what's the overall mood today?
Lack of sleep. That's my overall mood. Fluffy did not have a great night. It's tough because it's too hot for him to get much exercise outside.
Yeah.
So he's sitting here bored. And, you've seen it, Kyle. I have about, 15 minutes of sitting away from him before he starts whining and crying at me.
Yeah. And Jay says, my men's league goalie was the third string goalie for the Canes when they won the cup. He never played a game, and he got a ring and name on the cup.
Oh.
Joseph says, I hope Bob has the focus and mental strength to shake that beating off and move on.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Yeah. He usually rebounds pretty well from stuff like that.
Yeah. Last night should be treated as an anomaly until such time as, either at this point, either we're winning the cup or
Right.
Yeah.
Just don't forget what Tampa did to us. You know what I mean? In that game 4.
Yeah, remember that's the game 4 against Tampa where we gave up 6 goals and everyone in there certain people were panicking quite badly.
Right. And we weren't good game 1 with Boston. It happens. We have a tendency, if, like I said last night in the recap, the style that we play is so contingent on everybody playing as one unit that when it's bad, it's horrible. It just looks awful. But it's still just one game.
True says we have to go back to clogging up the middle and keeping the crease clear.
Yep. And, we need to make adjustments because Edmonton made some adjustments last night after we got those deflection goals. We tried that play a few times, but the Edmonton defender got in between the puck. Instead of trying to keep us from going to the net, they let us do it, but then the defense got in between the puck and the person cut into the net. So we're going to have to make an adjustment there.
Joseph says, I expect the arena on Tuesday to be relentless. Let the Oilers feel it, make it as uncomfortable for them as possible. I am a believer that the crowd energy makes a difference.
Sure. No doubt there. But the way I saw last night was once they made it 4-1, we just closed up shop. We did not really expend any more energy. It's like they said, okay, they didn't want to, blow their energy to lose 6-4. You know what I mean?
Sharks were up 3-0 versus the Wings in the 2010 conference final. Wait, that can't be right, my guy. The Sharks didn't make the cup until 2016, right? Or
he said conference final, I thought.
Yeah, but he's describing a scenario in which the Sharks lost 7-1 to the Red Wings in Game 4, and then came back home and finished them with a 2-1 win.
Oh, okay. Then that's the conference finals.
Yes, which would imply that the Sharks had made it to the finals.
I don't have my phone to look it up. I don't know.
Let's see.
Don't.
Owl says, if you want extra content, you should do a vid reading off all the Oilers Reddit posts about how they have objectively outplayed us 3 games and how Bob was crying because he knows it's over.
Well, that's how Bob always looks when he's sweating with his eyes thin like that.
Colin says Maurice said he won't start considering any possible lineup changes until tomorrow.
Right.
That's probably smart.
Yeah. He's going to want to watch the film. And, look, there was a lot of mistakes. We just were not mentally engaged.
The adjustment is Montour not turning the puck over and sliding into Bob.
That would help. Barkov needed to get back on time on the 1 goal. Ekblad pinching and letting Draisaitl get past him along the wall, which is just total stupidity.
And Jay says Oilers are trying to send a guy or two to stretch us out. It requires our D backing up too. We need to combat this by a stronger forecheck and not let them break out so easily.
The forwards need to do their job on the forecheck, and then if Edmonton gets past our forecheck, then we need two guys already back.
Yeah.
And what we had last night was not only did we not have two guys back, but we only had one guy back, and they kept pinching as well.
Stoley said he had that first goal and whistle should have been blown, but puck came out and Hopkins buried it.
I see.
Let's see. Current lineup got their butts kicked, but also went on a 6-game winning streak.
Right.
RC says I wouldn't change anything. Crazy how a power play goes from 2 straight posts to a shorthanded goal in seconds.
Yeah, happens.
Dennis says at least chucking the rest of the guys that were interviewed yesterday said it was on them and they let Bob down. True says Ekblad was out of position all game and we played 0 team defense.
Yeah, we just, I don't know what that crap was.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's really not much else to say except it was a bad game, a terrible game.
Right. By everybody. I mean, the whole team. I mean, I'm not blaming Bob, but there's definitely a couple saves there that he has been making. But,
let's see. Pocharo says, Kyle, I think the players saved all their energy, just ended at home. We gave the Oilers so much energy that game it might run out.
that's the other thing. Edmonton was, they were going to play like that at home. They were not fixing to get swept at home. I mean, they get pegged too.
Owl says the last team that got reverse swept in the finals happens because the coach punched a ref and got ejected. You're saying the losing team's coach punched a ref and then they proceeded to lose the series?
That's crazy.
Mike says Oilers have manufactured too many chances on the PK, and we've seen too many McDavid breakaways on Bob. Can't allow that to happen if they want to clinch it.
Yeah, we were just making stupid play after stupid play last night.
Yeah.
And, I mean, look, it's all relative, right? It's 6-1 or it's 5-1. It was 5-1 or was it 6-1?
It was 5-1 pulled Bob.
No, when they took the 5-on-3. I think it was 5-1, and then that made it 6-1. So we had checked out at that point. We had already checked out. At least Stolar's got in a game. He'll look back on his career, and his career will be like, 8.9 goals against average, right? In the Stanley Cup final. He played pretty well for a guy who hasn't been on the ice in months.
Yeah. True says Henrique's goal was actually put in by Lundell.
Yeah, I saw that. Just that kind of night.
So yeah. Yeah, very, very sloppy game. And here comes the IDK saying the Oilers gonna reverse. Dennis says we checked out when the puck dropped in the first.
A little bit. Certainly in the second.
Yeah, we just did not show up for the second.
We did not even show up for the second. I mean, I don't think we could have, if they had actually collectively decided to throw the game so they could win at home, I don't think it could have looked worse. You know what I mean?
So what I guess what I'll be curious about is if tomorrow Maurice does decide to make changes.
I mean, you might see him make some line changes. You know,
Yeah.
you might see. I don't know. I kind of like Lundell with Tarasenko. That's kind of been okay. So maybe you put Rodriguez down. Maybe you put, Verhage back up.
Colin says the puppets told the Panthers to throw the game.
I kind of had a feeling. That's why I wasn't making such a big deal out of the fact that Matthias wasn't going to be here to watch, because I kind of had a feeling that maybe it wasn't going to matter.
Brian says for Hagee back to the top line, Lomberg for Okposo.
Yeah, maybe. How about one game? We got too many guys to do it, but we've always played with an exceptional edge when we put Cousins on the second line, but then you'd have to put like Rodriguez on the fourth line, and I don't think that's fair.
Sunswine says we need to win this in 5, and I want to hear a Kucherov style speech from somebody.
Yeah.
True says sweeps aren't good for networks and selling ads. Celtics and Panthers. Just
right.
saying.
Yeah. Is their game tonight?
Or
is it tomorrow night?
I think I don't know.
No. Okay.
Rob Noxious says Bob's save percentage is only .915. You should leave that backup in. That I'm pretty sure that number is deceptive as to the actual play of Bob. .915 save percentage.
Right.
Bob hasn't been he hasn't been a playoff Bob like he was last year, but he has made the timely saves. And
yeah, we haven't needed that kind of, what I mean? I mean, we did in game 1 of this series.
Yeah.
Start.
He is still capable, more than capable. I mean, game 1 against both the Oilers and the Lightning, making just ridiculous saves. Yeah. Celtics play tomorrow. Ricky says, I live in Massachusetts, not out of Boston. Hang on, Ricky says, I live in Massachusetts, says, I like the Miami Heat, but I'm rooting for the Celtics tonight to win it. Seems the pattern on the Celtics game. They win, Panthers win.
Right. Yeah, when I saw that score, when I woke up and saw what Dallas had done, I said, that don't bode well for us tonight. Yeah. So they just have to go out there and finish this on Tuesday. It's, at least now the people get to go. You guys get to go to the game, and maybe the announcers won't be so obnoxiously creaming their pants. One way to do that is to just not let Edmonton score.
Yeah,
that would be one way to do it. You talk about taking the roof off of that building. Win it in overtime.
Yeah. Dennis says in this series he had a 955 save percentage and a 1.3 goals against average before yesterday.
Yeah. Oh well. Stats. It's not always. They tend to even out over the course of the series.
Yeah. So LZX, will brother Gene or Pacharo go to Game 5?
No. No.
True says, my brother-in-law bet $1,000 on the Panthers last night.
Oh,
I told him, no, don't do it before
the dumb bet.
Damn.
That's crazy to sweep. I mean, we could have played a hell of a game last night, and Edmonton could have still won 3-2. You know what I mean? I mean, teams just aren't going to get swept out of the finals at home. That's just rarely going to happen. To bet $1,000 on.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, there hasn't been a sweep in the finals for over 25 years.
Right.
For a reason.
Yeah.
True says, I called Panthers in 6, but I think we can do it in 5.
Well, I would hope 5 at this point, yeah. You're going to start getting really nervous the sucker goes to 6.
Yeah.
I already see comments from the recap last night about how the Panthers have been exposed as frauds.
Duh. Is this from Panthers fans or Oilers fans?
No, an Oilers fan. An Oilers fan saying that this is 2 years in a row now we've been exposed as frauds.
As if we don't have a 3-1 series lead.
Right. I don't know how people get that way. It boggles my mind.
Yeah, the frauds that are back in like 58 Musics. Yes, the frauds that are in back-to-back finals up 3-1.
Right.
So, Colin says, Jaws always seems to know how the series will go, so in Jaws we trust.
Yeah, I said 5, so I think I feel good about that. And I felt good yesterday, but at the same point, there was that quiet nervousness. It just didn't feel real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It kind of felt like, really, it's just going to be 4 games and out. It seemed like that was kind of too good to be true.
Yeah. Frauds that every free agent and player wants to play for.
Yeah, we're tax-free frauds.
Ricky says, I would bet 1,000 on the Panthers win Game 5 at home. That guy must not love his money.
Right? Yeah, that's a tough bet.
Owl says it's because people have been convincing the Oilers fans that they've been outplaying us this entire series and that Bob has just sold his soul to cheat them.
Right, because it's Bob's fault that we scored 3 goals in 6 minutes the other night.
Yeah. Hello, hot dog. Sunsoid says, I would bet 10,000 that the ESPN will be talking about McDavid when Barkov is hoisting the cup.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Hot dog says, Happy Father's Day.
Thank you. Right back at you. Any followers we got out there today? Huh? Kyle is going to mow grass almost the whole day for Father's Day. No, you're not? Oh, damn. That's
Let's see. Yeah, Oilers fans acting like they won the Stanley Cup. Owl says when the Panthers are hoisting the cup, ESPN will be focusing on how it also took Crosby 2 tries to win the cup,
right.
and McDavid will be back again soon.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, seriously, it sounds like we're listening to the Edmonton version of Goldie and Randy half the time. All right, I'm gonna go pee and I'll come over there for however much time we got left.
Okay.
Okay, buddy, I'm right here. Okay, good.
True says ABC was so bad last night. It was like they were hiding the sandbagging all game. "58 says I'm fine with the Edmonton fans acting like they won the cup. I felt that way last season, just winning a cup final game." Yeah. Of course, this year is much different. Panthers, you better win this in 5. And I know my dad is calling for a really close victory, a close, tight victory. You know, the greedy part of me is hoping that the Panthers absolutely destroy the Oilers in every conceivable fashion. So the ESPN commentators will shut the hell up about the Oilers. What's up, Select? So yeah. But however the victory comes, I just want the Panthers to win in Game 5.
Oh, good. Okay, rest for a little bit this afternoon.
True says, did we lose Game 4 last year too? It's
Yeah,
like
that was the game that Vegas took a 3-1. That was the game Kachuk got hurt.
No, that was the game after Kachuk got hurt.
Yeah, that's right. That's the game he couldn't tie it at the end.
Now Oilers Reddit are posting laughing at Kachuk's family for leaving early.
I hate to generalize because I know we've got a lot of good people that are Canadian based, but the Canadian fan bases of some of these teams is but you know, it's social media. It's mostly kids. You know what I mean? I would venture to guess that 95% of the people engaging in that type of material are 20 or under. It just, I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just me.
Big Bird says what's funny is we're up 3-1 in the series.
I'm trying to read. For some reason, my eyes are helping me today. Hey, thank you, Select. Appreciate that, bud.
Tarkun says it's the annoying vocal ones chirping and the humble ones know it's all still 3-1.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I get one to have confidence in your team, but you know, I find it interesting the level of confidence that some of the fan bases have when their team hasn't won in 20, 30 years. It's like you got to win, and then you can mouth off about how, you know, if you want to mouth off about you're better than everybody. Win the cup, and then you have the hardware to prove it.
Ricky says I'm still sticking with 6-2 Panthers.
Gotcha. I hear you, true. Although the part about ordering pizza every night don't sound so bad.
JC says lol about last night.
You want to
I'm
order
not
pizza for Fallerton?
worried.
I'm gonna try and get everything, all the mileage out of this I can. Nothing, huh?
Well, I might have to order pizza because all I've got left is the chicken.
Well, Karen's going to the store. I told her to get you some big package of beef or pork, but you got to cook it. She's not gonna come home and cook it too.
Let's see.
Well, yeah, pizza.
JC
Hey,
says,
JC.
I knew we would lose. Maurice told them to pull them back once we were down 3.
I mean, it certainly looked like they just folded up and said, "All right, we'll do this another night."
Hot Dog says, I think the Panthers will destroy the Oilers game 5. Big Bird says it's better for the Panthers to save up some energy versus an Oilers team that had to play 110% last night.
Yeah. I mean, look, everything that could have gone wrong last night went wrong. We hit the post for the Verhaeghe shot, and we just didn't. I don't know. I mean, I know we didn't have it. I think the thing of it is that our defense is so predicated on the forwards having all that energy and forechecking. And so when the forwards aren't doing their job properly, the defense ends up getting caught in positions they're not normally caught in. And it just looks like it did last night, which is a giant cluster. How many times during the Rangers series when it looked like the Rangers had a break and they would pan the camera and there's 2 defenders already back for us?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I think that we just need to play that structure and, leave it up to the goaltenders. Everybody gets 25 shots and leave it up to the goaltenders and go from there.
Dennis says, impossible. I was told by Oilers fans that all they have to do is play 3 more games like last night because apparently 8 goals is a normal Oilers thing.
All right. I mean, if they want to do that to themselves, that's okay. That's okay.
Hot Dog says, we need to stop giving up odd man rushes and limit the turnovers.
Right.
So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, everything was out of whack last night. It was. I mean, even the Verhaeghe shot, the pass was bouncing. The puck was bouncing. So, and we've seen this team before play. In fact, here, we're in the chat for a second. I'm going to look at the schedule that we had this year. I want to see something.
Brian says no defensive rotation in that game. Everybody was late coming back. This is what happens when you start slow and make dumb mistakes. Dennis says that the blue line cherry picking from Edmonton was beer league. That won't work again.
Right. Oh, I hate this. Keep going. I'm looking at something.
True says, happy Father's Day to Coach Ray. Rest in peace, Pop. He had a lot to do with bringing hockey in South Florida and operated the scoreboard in Miami Arena for a bunch of games in '94.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. I'm trying to look at the regular season here.
Brian says, by the way, Montour with a beautiful slide to take Bob out of the play. Yeah, like we said,
so I'm trying
that game was Murphy's Law embodied.
Yeah. I'm looking at the regular season to see what happened in games after we gave up a lot of goals. We lost Winnipeg 6-4. We won the next game 4-3. We lost to Chicago 5-2. We won the next game 5-4. 2-1. Now, the only time we lost 2 in a row really was bad was to Seattle and Vancouver, that trip where we had guys that were kind of sick.
Yeah.
And we got shut out the 2 games in a row. And then we got healthy against Edmonton, 5-1. In fact, that was the only game we won in that whole road trip.
Brian says Tampa 6-2 game for this playoff and came back to win.
Right. Like that was the only time I'm seeing here for the most part where we gave up a lot of goals twice in a row. God, there's so many wins. Like we had the one streak where we had won 6 in a row, then we lost to Carolina 1-0, and then we won another 6 in a row. Jesus.
Yeah.
And then we lost to Philadelphia 2-1. That was that late February, early March stretch where we were just absurd. And then we started dropping games.
Sean says, afternoon, gents. So we are up 3-1. Chucky non-existent. Montour can't hit the net. And Ekblad had his first bad game in a while. I'll take my chances in 5, 6, or 7. Also, ESPN has been so awful.
Oh, ESPN's just been terrible. I mean, the whole Kachuk thing, he's just playing a different role right now. We saw it at different times during this season where if the other team's not going to, they're really not going to let him set up in front of the net. And so he's playing a little bit more of a distributor role right now. You okay, bud? So, I mean, I get people want goals and all of that. But, I mean, up until last night, we'd won 6 straight playoff games. So, there's no need to look at it and be like, well, we keep winning playoff games, but we need Chucky to get going. You know what I mean? You just keep doing what's been working.
Yeah.
And I have every confidence that they're going to figure it out. I mean, even Barkov kind of didn't play well last night. And in the first period, even when the game was close, we kept losing draws as well. So, yeah, true. I think Bennett's okay. I don't know how much of that was knee versus maybe like bone on bone, like in the shin area. Because he came back out, he looked fine. He didn't look like he was any worse for his wear.
Let's see. Lil J says, I don't know how we lost 8-1 without giving up. They obviously weren't trying in the third. According to reports, Maurice basically told the players to pull back after it was 4-1.
Thank you, Austin. Appreciate that, bud. According to reports.
Yeah.
You mean like that's not just like fan conjecture? That's like...
Yeah, it was like, I think it was either Jameson or George Richards who said that Maurice had said the players were told by Maurice to pull back after it was 4-1.
Really? That's interesting. So in other words, don't expend all your energy trying to win this game.
Yeah.
Just save it for the That's kind of how it looked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let the Oilers go out there and expend a bunch of their emotional energy like they did last night. And that's fine. It's understandable. They're going to be excited. But I have confidence in this team to regroup. And I really think you're going to see like a 2-1. I think we'll be sitting here like sweating bullets Tuesday night as we hold the 1-goal lead for the last 14 and a half minutes. And Matthias is going to be here too. Don't leave that part out. I think he gets her tomorrow. I got to pay attention to that. Go ahead.
Dennis says, looks like the Oilers are going to continue to take cheap shots in the first periods.
Yeah, it's been weird. I mean, there's been, 3 neon knees?
I think it's just been 2.
Was it? I think there was one that wasn't called. I think I saw a highlight of one that somebody brought up in one of the earlier games that just didn't get called. I don't know what, I mean, I'm not complaining about it because it is what it was what it is. But I don't know what the difference between the other one where the dude got kicked out of the game and last night was just a 2-minute penalty. I don't know. Hey, MJ. Hey, buddy. Thank you, MJ. Thank you, MJ. How you doing, bud?
Happy Father's Day, Jaws and Kyle. Sorry that I wasn't on last night's game. For additional apologies about the loss. That was brutal. I do think that we are going to wrap this up on Tuesday.
Yeah, man. We need to finish this on Tuesday. No doubt about that. We'll take care of it. Right?
Let's see.
Yeah. Now, if we lose Game 5, that's a whole different conversation. But we don't need to bother ourselves and worry about that conversation unless or until you have to have it. You know, it's like you don't worry about how you're going to pay for the kid until the wife is pregnant. You know what I mean? Why? It's true. You know.
Let's see. Costa says, like I said, I feel like this game was fixed, so Florida could come back home and win the cup right here.
Yeah, I mean it was. That's interesting though about I haven't been on Twitter. I didn't want to look at anybody's videos, so I don't know what was going on. But that's interesting that they said that Maurice told them to pull back at 4-1. Huh. I could understand saying pull back at 5-1, but 4-1, that's interesting. Because at 4-1, if you eke it out to get to the start of the third at 4-2, but yeah, it wasn't meant to be. But those last 2 goals, Edmonton, it's like, okay, that's how you want to do it. If you want to run it up. But I get it. Yeah. You want to score all the goals you can. Nobody's going to tell anybody to not score. In the Stanley Cup final. It's like telling somebody don't score a touchdown in the Super Bowl. It's like, kiss my ass, I'm running over this goal line.
Costa says, who was the only goal scorer for the Panthers?
Tarasenko, right?
It
was, right?
I think so.
I'm like 99.9% sure it was Tarasenko, bud.
Yeah. Well, there was all the Oilers goals, so I forgot pretty quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know. I couldn't even tell you. All I know is that when McDavid scored, ESPN exploded into a giant orgasm.
Let's see.
Dennis says, I can't wait for the line brawl after this series is over. How come I can read it today? That's so weird. Like yesterday, I couldn't even sit there and read it. And now my eyes are fine and I can read it from here. That makes no sense.
Maybe because you're not staring at the TV.
No, it's my eyes have been crap for weeks now because of all the streaming and everything. But from here, I can read it just fine. It don't make any sense. Did Dana come in?
Dana?
Yeah.
I saw her earlier.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes, he was on the flight with free snacks and drinks.
Yeah, I was wondering. I mean, talk about the trip from hell from her. She buys tickets for games 3 and 4. Her flight gets canceled, so she had to sell her game 3 tickets at a loss, and then gets to go to that mess last night.
Yeah.
Instead of seeing them raise the cup. Yeah. Hopefully she gets to go. Well, she got season tickets, so I'm going to assume she'll be there for game 5. Hey, MJ, thank you, bud.
Thank you.
Thank you, MJ.
Says, since today is Father's Day, what's your favorite memory of your dad?
I had to think about that one. I had to think about that one.
Hey, P-Neko.
Hey, thank you, bud. Thank you.
Says,
thank you.
Hey, guys, as Panthers fans, how much concern should we have if we lose Game 5? And what's the mentality that the team should have to go dominate and win Game 5?
Just like I've been saying, just get back to our structure, right? Get back to keeping 2 guys back. The forwards have to forecheck. the whole thing comes through. The whole thing goes through the forwards in that forecheck, and making sure that nobody's pinching before they're supposed to, and just force the Oilers into making mistakes with the forecheck. We played fine the first 3 games. Yesterday was an abomination. I don't know how much of it was nerves and stress, but that should be gone at this point. That should be gone now. And just get out there and just play our smothering game and take all of that conditioning and all the work that they've done to be able to play as close to full 60 minutes of hard hockey as they can and just put it all out there. And then if that don't work, then you have to have a discussion about why it's not working. But my brain won't even let me get ahead of myself to think about why, if we should be worried if they lose game 5, because there's a lot of different ways that things can go. Did you lose game 5 because it went to overtime and the puck went off of somebody's knee and then off of somebody's shoulder and into the net? There's a lot of different reasons. So my brain just won't even let me go there. It's just like focusing on finishing this thing up on Tuesday.
Let's see. Sean says PK Subban and Messier has also been a really tough watch. PK also predicted sweep on McAfee and then pretended to be an Oilers fan. It's just been so obvious to the casual fan how one-sided it is. JC is thanking MJ for every...
right there with you, JC. Right there with you, man. MJ is keeping the lights on. That's for damn sure. He's keeping Kyle fed.
NHL and Aviation says, hey guys, if you guys are head coach of the Panthers, what move would you guys make for game 5?
You all call me crazy if I told you what I would do. Y'all would call me crazy. But I would go Barkov, Reinhart for Hagee, Bennett with Kachuk and Cousins, Lundell with Luosterainen and Tarasenko, and Stenlund with Lomberg and Rodriguez. Not that Rodriguez deserves to be sent down. It's got nothing to do with Erod. He'll make a hell of a fourth liner for a game. But we've seen it multiple times in the playoffs and the regular season. When we get a little bit queasy, you insert Cousins on that second line, and all of a sudden Bennett and especially Kachuk come alive. I think you could find some magic with that lineup for one game.
Paul Zambrano says, hey, better late than never. We got this on Tuesday. I didn't want to say anything yesterday, but I'd rather see them win on home ice. Nothing would make me happier.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of people that kind of were preferring, you don't want to lose a game, but it's a roll of the dice, right? Because now you got to win game 5, right? You have to win game 5 now. You almost have to play game 5 like it's an elimination game.
Hey, Paul, thank you for the 100.
Holy crap. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Paul.
Jesus.
Paul,
thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Oh, my God.
And MJ, thank you for the 5.
Jeez, I'm awake now. Even Kyle might wake up.
Thank you for the 5, MJ.
Thank you, MJ. Thank you, MJ. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, guys. Both of you.
So,
oh, my God.
Should Bob be the first to lift the cup on Tuesday after Barkov?
I think Barkov, Ekblad, Bubba. That would be my thing. That would be my thing.
Yeah.
What did Dennis say?
Dennis says, I was shocked hearing the national media saying out loud, Canadian fans deserve the cup more than Florida fans do. They care about it more. That's Bush League.
Who said that?
Who the hell said that?
Who said that? Now you're trying to irritate me into making a video this afternoon. Who said that? Seriously, who said that? What? Hold on. I want to know who said that.
NHL Aviation says, would definitely add speed and physicality to the lineup if they were to do that. It would throw Edmonton off. I'm all for it.
Yeah, but I'm not the coach, and knowing Maurice, he might see a change. I don't think he's going to take Okposo off. I think if you see anything happen, you'd see Lorenz go off for Lomberg. But then again, Maurice has kind of wanted to have two centers on each line. So I don't know. We got a lot of good guys. Main thing is I would just make sure Ekblad get back, stay, put a leash on him. Get him one of those toddler leashes where he can't get past the circles in our zone. He has to stay right there. He can go from side to side, right? But not allowed to go past the circles.
Of course, Dennis says he's going to go back in his search history. It's on YouTube.
Okay. I mean, it's one thing if a YouTuber says that, but national media is saying that's high quality bullcrap right there. Yeah, Paul says put Lomberg and Cousins in on Tuesday, Maurice. I don't disagree, man. I'd love to see it. They deserve it. I mean, Okposo, I think I saw him get beat once yesterday, but I think just the extra juice, the extra juju, the extra speed could help. And yeah, we see Tkachuk scoring in Game 5. I mean, maybe he wins it, right? Maybe he ends up being the game winner. Who hasn't scored a goal? Oh, during the
season, the whole season.
No. I think he's meaning during the series.
Yeah, Okposo sent the puck the wrong way.
Is that yeah? We haven't had a whole lot of. There's a lot of guys that haven't scored yet. But Tkachuk seems to be the one that people are focusing on. Did Okposo get a goal?
I don't think so. If he had gotten a goal, you wouldn't be asking for him to get a goal.
Well, I keep saying that he's going to eventually score a very important goal for us. He's kind of running out of time. I swear to God, if I'm back there screaming, Okposo in overtime, I don't know if I'm going to live through that.
Well, still waiting on Dennis.
Yeah, okay, relax. So you're a little bit over. Huh?
Okposo
5 goals next game. Jason said I'd sit Lorenz and keep Okposo. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the way Maurice went with it.
AMJ, thank you for the 5.
AMJ, thank you, buddy. Thank you, MJ.
Says, I say we bring Brady Tkachuk to Florida in the offseason.
The only way that's happening is if Reinhart goes. That's the only way that would be happening.
It was the Dan Patrick show.
Oh, that guy. Okay. Yeah, he's I'll bite my tongue. He's how can we put this? What's the word I'm looking for? One-sided. I think we'll call it that. Yeah. I think that's what we'll call it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. I gotta go because if I don't let Kyle go, he's gonna turn into a pumpkin here. Huh? Huh? You sleep till 10:30. Do you know what I'm doing from 5 to 10:30?
Yeah.
Huh? While you're sleeping? He doesn't care.
I can imagine.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care.
One
day you're going to come down at 1 o'clock because nobody woke you up because both me and the dog are going to be dead. And then you know what I was doing from 5 to 10:30 while you're sleeping every morning.
Yeah.
Right, Fluffy?
Huh? He's a good boy.
Yeah, he's a good boy. All right, everybody.
All right.
Go enjoy your Sunday. Go enjoy your Father's Day. Thank you all very much for the super chats. Genuinely. We couldn't do any of this stuff without you, especially Kyle, because I gotta buy him food. Apparently that's the deal. Being dad, that's my gift for Father's Day. Is I gotta send my girlfriend to the store to buy the kid burger and pork. You're cooking your own food though. He does. He cooks his own stuff. I'm giving him grief. All right, everybody, enjoy your Sunday, and we'll be here tomorrow at noon. Don't listen to what Kyle says. We'll be here tomorrow at noon. We'll be here tomorrow at noon. That was the deal. The deal we made was you didn't have to list during the playoffs, but we were going to do a review every day that we possibly could. That was the deal, right? We shook on it, right? It's not my fault they lost yesterday. I want to shave too. Believe me, I want to freaking shave, but we can't. Okay? So we will be here at noon so everybody can vent. That's our job.
All right.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow.